Surprise! What is up, everybody? I know this is not Jack. I am Austin Lynn, the co-host of Jivin with Jack, as Jack is unfortunately not here today. We've for some reason haven't been able to get a hold of him, and I don't know why. So I'll be taking over Jivin with Jack today. And wait a second here. You gotta. Who just joined the stream? What the heck is this?
We have Jack. If you want him back, you'll have to pay the ransom.
First of all,
the money that we requested.
First of all, sir, are you the entirety of the mob? Am I dealing with the mob? And second of all, what's the ransom? I didn't get. What do you want for him?
We delivered the ransom. You don't need to know who we are. We have Jack. Pay the ransom, or else.
Oh wow. I'm not gonna lie to you, sir. We're a little tight on the on the money side here, and so if you could just maybe hold him for a week.
You have 24 hours.
Oh, great, 24 hours. Well then, we'll definitely be trying to get back to you, and yeah, we're not getting Jack back. We'll have to figure something out. Hire Liam Neeson or. Nah, Liam Neeson is probably too expensive. But
I think we should get Gerard Butler.
We'll get Olympus Has Fallen or whatever.
Or is he still trying? Is he gonna try to sue us in 10 years?
Right. But with that, we have a lot to talk about today. We've got What If. We've got DC Fandome, which of course just released the schedule yesterday. We've got Star Wars, because I love Star Wars. And because Kanye West released an album, of course, we're going to talk about Kanye West's new album, Donda. So that's all happening today. Welcome to a new episode of Jivin with Jack. I think, Caiden? Yeah! See what happens when I bring Caiden in the show? You just forget now. What's up, man? How you doing, dude?
I'm good. This weekend was fun. And then Jack went missing.
Right, so, yeah, Jack's been missing. Apparently he has been kidnapped.
Been taken by the mob.
By the mob. The entirety of the mob, apparently that still exists.
Yeah. I think
we thought we'd gotten rid of that with a couple years ago, but I guess not. They are, and what's great is they used to have the Vegas Mafia and all the different mafias.
No, but
now they've just combined.
They combined in this mob.
You know what?
The underscore mob. Just
like the Snyder Cut fandom, they have united. They are hashtag Mob United, and they are now the entirety of the mob. I love it. I think that's brilliant. I think it's great. It's great marketing for them, right? They need to expand.
If you want to join,
they need to grow and be diverse instead of just having little clubs like high school and stuff. I definitely think that this is the way to go for the mafia. But with that, man, we watched. We did get to see some different things this weekend. You and I did a little watch through of Cruella. Which I know as soon as it was so funny, I was after a show, we ended and Ty was still around and we're like, yeah, we're gonna watch do a little watch party of Cruella, and he's like, oh, bye, and just left.
He's like,
yeah. So it wasn't necessarily Ty's thing. The reason I wanted to watch is because I had heard so many good things about it from a lot of critics that I respect. One of them, Eric Davis. Eric Davis really likes that movie.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I was kind of like, I have some it piqued my interest. So sat down, we watched it. Was this that was it was both our first time watching it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And wow, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
It's definitely going back to old Disney, where when they did live action movies,
I guess in a sense, but it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark.
It was.
I think there was a moment, because we were still on the call, and there was an actual moment when I was like, "This is still a Disney film."
No, this is not. It's What's up, Gavin?
Oh yeah, I know.
What's up?
I almost forgot.
What's
Before
up,
we
Roblox?
move any further, yeah, let's go through the chat. Roblox first, as always, great to see you here, Roblox. We appreciate you. Drifter second, good to see you as always. Drifter says he's got his martial arts class. That's right, dude. I love that you take martial arts. That's really cool. Pop Culture Corner is third. Yep. I'm third, or I'm fourth. That's right.
Fourth,
yep, guys, don't forget to like the show, share, subscribe. You know what to do.
Right.
We can't thank you enough for watching, for engaging. Definitely, guys, share the show today. Start letting people know that we're here. Let's get this chat lit and engaged. I rely off you guys. I depend off you guys. I love engaging with the chat, and now that I have full reins on the show today, I'm definitely gonna want to talk to you guys. So, Gavin, as always, good to see you, my guy. Gavin, you're still having an identity crisis? Still, I don't understand this. It's like I see Gavin in one stream, and he's got his Master Chief, avatar, and then I see him in our show, and he's just trying to screw with my head, apparently, because
he's like, let's screw with Austin today. First Jack is missing. Now Gavin is missing too.
I know, right? Mask of Shy, always great to see you, man. Dude, I love your art. Very curious to see what you've been up to art-wise, man. Love to hear from you. Always good to see you.
Who played the mob? We don't know who was the mob.
That was the mob, Adam. That was the mob. That's what we're trying to tell you guys. We're incredibly concerned about Jack. I mean, we're kind of concerned about Jack, but we're concerned. Listen, there's the main concern is that the mob found a way to get into our stream. And now I'm very concerned just about like being hacked and all this other stuff.
Security reasons.
It's a whole thing. Hi there, John. Good to see you, John. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Roblox.
You just had to. You couldn't resist, could you? You couldn't resist.
You couldn't resist.
Let's see, Andrew Caselli. What's up, Andrew? Good to see Andrew. I know. You're as hyped as I was when you saw that Green Goblin. Pumpkin Bomb dropping the No Way trailer, and if I could see Spider-Man No Way Home with one person, I would see it with Andrew Caselli. I think that's the person that I would want to see Spider-Man No Way Home with, because I feel like he is just going to, which I would do the same thing. It would probably be disrupting for both of us because we'd both be crying, but it would still be a very entertaining thing. Adam, thank you so much. Yes, guys, make sure to smash that like button. Let us know that you're here. Yeah, the Russian mafia is on. Let us know that you're here.
Hopefully they'll get Ty next.
Yeah, exactly. Or you, Caiden. I mean, hey.
Oh God, if they get me next, I'm dead.
I know. Could you imagine? Let me see here. If we switch, I'm gonna switch things up here for a second. But as always, I want to shout out the members because you guys are the lifeblood of the channel. We couldn't do this without you. You make this so much fun to see you guys in the chat, to see you guys here. It's really, we can't say thank you enough. So shout out Saggy Melons, Benson's, Prakash Swain, DC Talk Extended, T-Rob, That One Carlos, Resonant Justice, Billy Robert, Nick Carr, John Riddell, Justin Hines, I'm sorry guys, my favorite name in the list, Kinky Sphincter, Caden Reed, Sean Adame, Nick DePalma, Jack S., Roblox Marvel Ultimate, and Adam Silvestri. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for being a member of the channel. You guys mean the absolute world to us. We can't thank you enough. And if this is your first time here, we welcome you. We hope you come back. We are always talking about DC, Marvel, movies, Star Wars, entertainment, pop culture, Kim Kardashian, Britney Spears, Kanye West. Did I miss anything, Caiden?
No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, there's a list of things.
There's a list.
Pretty much it.
But that pretty much covered it. But yeah, guys, seriously, if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. We so hope that you come back and that you subscribe to the channel because it does mean the absolute world to us. We do this for you. We do it for the culture, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So the Watcher's here. Good to see the Watcher as always. Thank you.
For joining us. That I saw last week and this weekend.
Yes, we are, Adam, and just a little bit. We are. Go ahead.
I saw Candyman.
Ooh, dude, talk to me. So I haven't got the chance to see Candyman yet. But talk to me about Candyman. What did you think about Candyman?
Candyman is awesome. Like it's like it's a story, obviously, like, but it's a real story. It's not
I would
just
hope
your
so.
regular horror movie that's just like, like slashers films type stuff, but it's like it has an actual like really like story, like it's about like Candyman,
Yeah.
and obviously, but like
Now, I've heard
it goes
this
into
is a direct
origin.
sequel,
Yeah,
right?
it's a direct sequel,
Okay.
and it goes into what Candyman is. Like it goes into that. It goes into like the whole racial injustice and inequalities about that goes on in Chicago. It goes into like every single thing. It goes into just your Mr. Jenkins down the block that has candy for you, and the candy is poisoned or whatever. You don't know. You just don't go to Mr. Jenkins' house because
You just
you
don't
don't
do it.
just don't do it. But yeah, and Nia DaCosta is amazing. Everyone's performance is amazing. Standouts are Coleman Domingo. He's amazing. Um, yeah, I loved it.
Oh, dude,
It's
so you've seen
amazing.
the original, right?
Yeah, I've seen the
Okay.
original.
So and Nia DaCosta, man, she's got me excited. So first of all, this is a script from Jordan Peele,
From
which
Jordan
is
Peele, and then
I
she helped write it as well.
okay.
And
So
so
it's him
Jordan
and
Peele
her.
and Nia DaCosta both
Very cool.
wrote it,
I love
and
that he
then
allowed because he still has yet to get his hands on a major or to direct a major property. Everything that is
right,
done is original and his own work, which is great, and I love it. I think Get Out and
and
Us
Us are
are like
amazing.
you really cannot have two better films like as your
Right,
two films, and but I love that he was so involved with it, but that he allowed somebody else, a kind of lesser known director, gave them that opportunity when he very well could have
right,
done
and
this. He very well
and
could have.
just watching this, like how she utilizes every single person.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Marvels because just
Right.
knowing that like that she'll utilize Brie Larson's talent. She'll utilize Tiana Paris. She'll use Iman Vellani. She'll use Jude Law. She'll use like all these people like that are a part of this cast. She'll use them to the very extent that they need to be. So that's why I'm glad that they were able to pick her up to do this. And it like I think I think it's like it was a wise choice that Tiana put in a good word for Nia to do this movie.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what she does with the Marvels. I think I haven't seen Candyman, but from what I've seen with it, I just think those are the type of directors that Marvel needs, right? These people that are creative and that are able to honestly reinvent things. After the first Captain Marvel, even though it was one film, she needs to be reinvented, which they
Yeah,
kind of did with
and Endgame.
Endgame, right? You see
Yeah,
that she's obviously matured. It's been years and stuff like
yeah.
that. But I think Nia DaCosta, obviously, she's in a
Gonna
sense
push it even more further.
right, and I think you need a director that's going to bring this property to center stage, to the spotlight. And if Nia DaCosta was able to do that with Candyman again, I mean, I'm reading the analytics that I'm reading about Candyman is this is probably going to be the most profitable film out of the pandemic
Oh,
this
and
year.
she's also Nia DaCosta is the first Black female director to have a big box office opening like that.
To have a number one opening day, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and
Yep.
congratulations to her and everyone on the cast and crew of that, because like her
Seriously.
talking about her on-set experience, like with Candyman.
That's a tough movie to make.
That's
a tough
was,
movie.
And the way she talks about it, she's like, not only was it hard because I was dealing with sexism, but I was also dealing with racism.
With racism,
And
exactly,
yeah, and it was like,
and at a time when it was so highlighted,
right.
you know,
And then
obviously.
she was like, I understand that no one can help me because you're in this time where, yeah, exactly, where it's like you're just juggling all these things right now. You're, it's like a bunch of moving pieces that are happening, and then you're also dealing with this. It's like, it's not okay. And
Yeah.
and she's like, and then she was, and then when she talked about working on the Marvel, she's like a big fan of Miss Marvel, so she's definitely gonna highlight.
I read
Miss
that
Marvel.
her first film she pitched was Fantastic Four, and was it Fantastic Four and Galacticus? It was something in Galacticus.
It was Galactus. So she was like, I'm
Galactus,
a
yeah.
huge nerd, where to the point I would just like like pitched Scott Summers, Galactus, and Ghost Rider team up, like, and the Jean Grey team up, and she was like,
oh, the
she was like,
X-Men and Galactus. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what she
it was
pitched.
like an X-Men and
Dude.
Ghost Rider Galactus team up, and
Oh
I was like, that sounds cool, but I'm like, we can.
Could you
like,
imagine?
that would be funny. That'll be cool to see actually too.
Dude, that would honestly be.
I wonder who they will team up against though.
Dude, I mean, I'm just ready for the X-Men in the MCU. Honestly, I think that's going to be huge whenever they don't. I know obviously the rumors are swirling about some Fox characters showing up in Doctor Strange 2.
Speaking of Candyman and stuff and Nia DaCosta, I think Nia DaCosta could and should do an X-Men movie.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Because the way she can highlight the speciesism and the racism and all that stuff, it's definitely something that she can do.
Yeah, you're very right. That was very much Marvel's take, I guess, on immigrants or on people of exactly, and I think you're right. She would be a very good choice to do something like the Marvels. But another thing that we watched that more recently, we watched it last night, was Only Murders in the Building, which just premiered on Hulu, which, man, oh man, I love
it too.
Man. This is
this
is kind of what I wanted Knives Out to be. I'll be honest, because I wasn't too crazy about the first Knives Out. It's good, but I wasn't. But this is very much more. I don't know. The balance of silliness and drama in this is just so good, and mystery. I don't think I've ever seen such a well balanced of genres. Oh, there he is. I decided to invite a guest today since I saw him in the chat. I always love talking to a guest. See, he changed it. He changed the avatar again, ladies and gentlemen. Gavin Cooley. See,
the Chief is back.
The Chief
they try to put down the Chief, but the Chief always comes back.
The Chief always comes back. I love it. Dude, speaking of that, did you see I know just a quick going down another lane here, but did you see that Halo Infinite Xbox Series X?
Yeah,
that they're going to be releasing.
Dude, honestly, I'm so excited because, like, even though I wish the release date was a little bit sooner, was it like December or something?
Yeah, it's like this December, but you can download it now. I'm like, why would I want to look at it for the next 3 months in my playable game but not be able to play it? That is just torture for me.
Yeah. You want to know the thing about Halo, and Austin, I don't know if you agree, but Halo to me was like its own entity through like 1 through 3. No, I'll say this: 1 through Reach, it was really good, but then 4 or 5, like when Microsoft took over, it was still good, but it went more like Call of Duty, like the way the game mechanics went and how like fast paced it was and all the guns. Like there's so many guns now in Halo, and I'm like,
the one thing that I think stayed the same for me is like. Because me and my friends, we were always into building, like our own maps and creating our own games and doing all that type of stuff. I had a friend he was selling his maps to Microsoft for like hundreds of dollars. I was like, and so that was like that's what I remember of Halo 4 and 5, honestly, is the multiplayer more so. Whereas like you said, yeah, Halo 1, 2, and 3 and Reach. It's like I remember the game. I remember the campaign. I remember the multiplayer. I remember everything about those games. They are near perfection.
Dude, I remember when Reach first came out, and it was like the best campaign because you play through, and I'm like, you get to like these characters. And spoiler for Reach, but everybody dies.
Right. Right. It's one of those, and that's like the actual. Yeah. So that's not the joke. It's no, literally everyone dies. So Justin says it's not going to be that. I didn't read about it. So it's not going to be a full game.
I heard that they're cutting like the campaign short or something. Like they're focusing more on multiplayer, not on the campaign. I don't know. It's honestly a weird thing. It's gone through so many changes. Like,
I don't. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel. Because look, that's one thing Halo is known for its multiplayer, obviously. But dude, the Halo 2 campaign, Halo 1, and even Halo 3, it's like those campaigns, dude, I can't like they're on another level. So I would really that would really suck if
I remember when Halo 2 came out. I don't know if you were you were just in it. I remember Halo 3, dude. Halo 3 and Reach. When you were in high school, Austin, you know this. When you were in high school, bro, dude, you were in Xbox parties. You were just. It was the funnest time.
I had a teacher my freshman year. Every lunch, Xbox parties, Halo 2. He had the original Xbox. Kids would go into his room for lunch. Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, the first Halo game I got actually was Halo 3 because that was when I first got my 360. It was right after it came out. And then I went back and I got my hands on an old Xbox and I got the first Halo and Halo 2 and like the first 2 Spider-Man games and all that
Halo
stuff.
1 is good. Halo 1 is good, but I think it really started to get good around 2. 2 is like, because that was when you could like play Arbiter, you know? Dude, Arbiter was so sick. Dude, you know how many Xbox usernames are like named Arbiter now? Like you could go on like any game and it's like Arbiter this, Arbiter that. Because the dude made such a huge impact on Xbox. He's like every avatar.
And that's true. That's true. Like that was Halo 2 was like it was such a step up of the things that you could do from Halo 1 and even just the length of the game. I think I remember was like way longer. Benson's good to see you, Benson. He said, "Great to see Manny live tonight." Where's Chunky? Chunky's been. If you missed the opening of our show, Benson, Chunky's been kidnapped by the mob. So that's always fun. I heard no Forge and no co-op. Okay, if there's no co-op campaign, I'm upset. Because like that's like the highlight of like the Master Chief Collection for me right now is like going through with all my friends and replaying those campaigns. So that is interesting. Well, I know. We went off on a little rant there with the games, but we were talking about. Have you heard of this show, Gavin? Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin on Hulu.
No, I don't. I can't. What platform is it on?
It's on the Hulu, on the Hulu of the Lou.
On the Hulu, you know the Hulu.
On the Hulu.
On the Hulu.
The Toodaloo of the Hulu.
Dang. I haven't had Hulu since like last year.
Okay. I keep it because I like they do the Hulu on FX stuff, and actually I think I have like some deal where it's linked with my Spotify or something like that, so it's only like $2. But I like Steve Martin a lot. I like Martin.
I like
Short.
Steve. I like seeing Steve and Martin back on screen together.
Yes, it's been
and then seeing the addition of Selena as well, and then Selena and Steve's chemistry is amazing, and like it's just like,
yeah, I agree. Selena Gomez is great. Like I said, the blend of genres. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, guys. Only Murders on the Building. It's on Hulu. There's only 3 episodes out right now, but look, if you like comedy, if you like mystery, if you like drama. And like me, I love Steve Martin. I grew up watching Steve Martin and Robin Williams comedy and like all those guys. So big fan.
I remember Martin Short did Cat in the Hat on PBS Kids.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And see, I grew up on like The Jerk on the Three Amigos, like SNL, watching Too Wild and Crazy guy, all those. Like I love Steve Martin and those guys, and so it is. I like you said, it's really cool to see them back together and to see them on screen. But with that, I know some people. Hey, I know Benson said The Jerk is a masterpiece. It really is. That is like one of the all-time funniest films ever. Sergeant Balco, I think, too. Also really funny, but I'm sure Benson knows about that one. But here we go, guys. I know you're all waiting for it in the chat. You're asking for it. So I'm going to give you what you want. Let's transition and talk about DC Fandome. All right, let's get critical here. I mean, let's talk about this, guys. So, Caiden, if you want to go ahead and bring up that very, very colorful poster that they released this morning or last night, and there's a couple things I want to point out and talk about here. First of all, God, I had to really like hold myself from saying the bad word with this.
No.
Where is Henry Cavill Superman? And why is that son? Who's that? Like, that's number one. I'm gonna cool down.
No, my first scene is why is there so many like? It's like it's like hard to like. It's hurting my brain to look at this poster. It's like watching like The Matrix.
This is more colorful than the Jivin.
I wish they should have done this, where they should have made Robert Pattinson's Batman where Peacemaker is, and put Peacemaker where Robert Pattinson's Batman is, or change Black Adam and Peacemaker.
I just
like, I understand what they're doing here. They're trying to like advertise all of the upcoming iterations of these characters.
But, no, I understand. It's just
the placement of these characters, they should place them better.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, it just seems like just a scrambled mess.
Yeah,
like they added a set photo from Shazam 2, and then everything else is official, and the concept art of Flash, but everything else is official.
Dude, they don't have an update for it's the concept art from last DC Fandome. They don't even have an updated version.
Right.
The hell is this shit?
And the trailer that they showed was like all the footage that they showed like last year. Like literally everything that they had from last year. Yeah, let's take a look at that trailer. Why not? Let's see here. We've got Cavill is probably. What do you guys think about it? Do you think Cavill is gonna be a surprise at this
they
thing?
Did,
you guys
they
really
did
think?
do some. Someone released like a panel, like what everyone's panel is gonna look like.
Right, I saw that.
And
I think
I think it said the Flash will have Ezra, Michael, and Ben Affleck.
Right.
So, and I think Sasha Kajay and Andy Muschietti as well. So those 5 are going to be a part of that Flash
but
panel.
No mention of Henry, like.
And then I think, but here's the trailer.
Yeah, let's take a look at this trailer.
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
I've seen this.
Which Flash, though?
I love how they say epic new lineup, but literally the whole lineup is stuff we've seen last year.
Yeah, this will never be the same.
DC Fandome. Join us live October 16th, 2021, streaming free on DCFandome.com. Register now on DCFandome.com and be the first to get news.
Yeah, yes. That's that.
All right, look, couple things here. I am not one, right? I'm someone with an open mind. I'm okay. I want the Snyderverse restored. I'm not going to not watch the movies. I still want to be excited about them, and I'm okay if it never happens. I'll move on. I'll get over it. But this just feels like a pretty much and I know people have been saying it, but it feels like a slap in the face a little bit to the Snyder fans and to because look, take away the fact, right, that Snyder was involved with Man of Steel. People still like Henry Cavill. Take away the fact that that Snyder was involved with Batman versus Superman. People still like Ben Affleck as Batman. And I mean, look, I'm all for
when they had the Flash. They had the Flash thing pop up. But I'm like, which one, the movie or the show?
Right. That's another one. They need to rename the Flash movie and cancel the Flash.
Well, last year wasn't it the first day was the movies and the second day was like the TV shows?
Yeah,
wasn't that last year?
Just one day.
Yeah, this year it's condensed. It's not going to be the
12
hour stream that they did.
Yeah, it's not going to be like this where they play it 3 times throughout the day. It's going to be one.
Here's my main problem.
Or 2 times.
Why are the Teen Titans Go on this poster? Who the hell cares about the Teen Titans Go? I'm sorry. It just feels this poster is really frustrating to me because it just feels like it's everything that
no one cares about.
That nobody cares about. They're focusing on. I'm like, nobody cares about
that people
Teen
do care
Go.
about.
I have a question.
They're sidelined.
Yeah.
I have a question though. What Batgirl is that? Is that?
That's the video game.
Gotham
Gotham Knights.
Okay.
Really?
I'm like,
Yeah, that's
gonna
Gotham
help them.
Knights.
Right. I mean, I'll tell you what. The most excited I am about DC Fandom is the games.
I'm excited for
Warner Brothers has been good on the games so far, and God forbid that they start.
Well, it's because it's a different studio. It's WB Games, not WB
Right.
Pictures.
Right. You said,
They
we'll
also-
be covering it, Nick. Yeah, we'll be covering it for sure.
Yeah, so let's bring up someone's article.
Hey, El Divino, good to see you, man, from El Livestream the other night. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Our lovely Ty Roberts wrote this article, where he described what DC fandom is and what happened last year, talk about viewership and all that, and then he goes into what is going to happen. So he says among the packs scheduled for 2021's DC Fandom, Warner Brothers Pictures will show off 6 titles, bringing the second exclusive trailer for. Okay, so it's the second trailer, and new content for DC Super Pets, which obviously stars John Krasinski and Keanu Reeves, The Rock, Kevin Hart, all playing Super Pets, and like Super Pets is like like the pet versions of the superheroes, and,
right? Yeah, because that's exactly what everybody's clamoring for. I just saw the picket lines outside. Give me Super Pets! I want DC Super Pets now.
Yeah. There's riots in the streets. We want Super Pets. We want.
I need The Rock in a DC.
Huh?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
You want Super Pets? You want Super Pets, guys?
Who gives a crap about DC Super Pet? Like, even if they get the best voice cast in the world, and Benson, I understand, I do. But it still feels like if it's everything making money for DC, then why isn't Cap? Because I don't feel like that Tyler Superman dude, even though I've never seen him, I don't feel like he's more popular than Cavill. Or that just makes me feel like, what, are they going to transition him to theatrical as like the new Superman? Like, I have so many questions and confusion. So I would normally say, yes, I agree with you. But I don't feel like DC is actually they're not utilizing everything to make money. They're not. I actually feel like in some cases, they don't like money. I guess, right. You look at Super Pets and it's like, yeah, you're gonna have the toys. The kids is gonna be the big appeal of Super Pets, I think, obviously. But I don't think the general
there's
audience,
like the interesting stuff. Here's the thing. Blue Beetle was in the talks to be announced even before Peacemaker was. Yet they're showing footage for Peacemaker, but they're showing nothing for Blue Beetle. Like, even if you haven't shot yet, like most of the panels last year, the movies haven't shot. They were just, they just showed concept. Like,
yes. And by the way, quick shout out to Ty, who he wrote the article that we're reading off of right now from Geeks Worldwide, GWW. So yes, shout out to Ty. Man of Steel I actually haven't done a lot of research on this, so I'm not sure. I know Man of Steel made I know it made like $600 million.
It made double. It
worldwide.
Made its budget and then
some.
A few.
So it did make money. Absolutely. Okay. So
it did make money. But it didn't make the money that they wanted.
That's understandable.
It also was like, dude, you guys think there has been a Superman drought for so long. Like, Superman Returns was the last Superman movie before that.
Right. You look at the box office of Superman Returns and Man of Steel. Man of Steel just kind of buried Superman Returns.
It made triple its budget, but they wanted it to make 5 to 6.
I would argue this then. I would argue when it comes to Man of Steel that it was unrealistic expectations on Warner Brothers, because it was a first origin film. Did the first Iron Man make $1 billion? Did the first Thor movie make $1 billion?
No.
Did the second Iron Man movie make it? Did the second Thor movie? It took these characters a little bit.
I think the first one was Avengers, right?
Probably.
Avengers was
but you look at how many different IPs you needed to get to that $1 billion. It wasn't just reliant on the one. And so it's like, I would expect, if everything had gone right, maybe when it came to Zack Snyder's Justice League as an executive, then I would have gone, okay, that one I expect $1 billion. after Man of Steel and Batman.
The two movies that came out, okay, so they have Marvel's The Avengers that came out the year before Man of Steel, with, and so that made $1 billion.
I would say
but
he was an established movie
Iron
IP in the
3
'70s and '80s. Like, I wouldn't say when it came around to Man of Steel, he wasn't.
Like Batman was the talk of the town because the Nolan trilogy just came out, and Superman. Like, of course, there was gonna be the diehard Reeves fans, but even those, like honestly, I thought Superman was lame until like 4 years ago.
I agree. I always talk about, and I always say how until I saw Man of Steel, I had no interest or care for the character of Superman, because for me, he just wasn't interesting, because he never did the wrong thing. He never made a mistake. He was basically God, which is great and cool. Doesn't interest me. Like, I enjoy seeing characters have conflict and things like that. And
dude.
When it came to the Injustice storylines and seeing them play with that type of stuff, that was where even when you go back and watch the original Justice League animated series and Justice League Unlimited, that is more Henry Cavill's Superman, than anything else. Like that, it's a more interesting, more realistic Superman, because he does think about crossing the line sometimes. He does, have those moments. So that for me was Man of Steel getting me into Superman.
Yeah, so basically going off of Benson's comments, where it's $150 million from marketing and then the budget, it made double of both. So yeah, it barely crossed it, where they were like, oh, okay.
That's But I would say that the popularity was there. If you would have come back, honestly, I think if you would have come back and said, "There's a sequel with Brainiac," that movie would have made 800.
2013 to 2015, Warner Brothers, or 2016, 2017. Yeah, 2013, 2017, Warner Brothers was focused on the box office, and then 2019 through now is now worried about the critics.
And even
popularity. Even then, they were
the
still worried about the critics, because they were basically focusing on the critics, but they're focusing on critics and box office. But now they're focusing on, is it critically, not just by critics but also by fans? Is it well received? And that's what they're seeing with the Suicide Squad. That the people who actually watched the movie and who like the movie, they are continuously talking about it in a positive way.
Yes, and Drifter, I agree. I always would have liked that they put Superman or put Brainiac in a solo Superman film, like in his second movie, and then Superman doesn't kill Brainiac. You have him then lead into the Justice League and be a Justice League villain, because he's absolutely.
Isn't there like a ton of different Brainiacs though?
Would have been cool. Would have been cool is if the end of the movie, it's not a happy ending where Brainiac takes over Superman, and then the Justice League movie is Justice League versus Superman, and then it's
cool
versus Brainiac.
Yeah, I would have been cool with all that. I think
those
are all great ideas, but you can't expect that first Superman outing to be like the $1 billion, unless that just doesn't work. Okay, so what else do we have here? Warner Brothers. Did we already go through the TV show stuff?
So yeah, they have DC Superpets, a first look at Black Adam. So that's gonna be cool to see a first look at Black Adam.
Hopefully that's pretty surprising, because that just finished filming
a week ago, 1 to 2 weeks ago, officially, with extra stuff, but The Rock wrapped a month ago.
What are you hoping from a sneak peek or a special look for Black Adam?
I'm thinking a teaser.
I think it'll be
I want to see him in the suit.
A costume reveal for all of the JSA and Black Adam.
That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, I want to see Hawkman, man.
I love Hawkman. Dude, I love dude. So that's my one thing that I've been waiting for is Hawkman, for them to get Hawkman and Hawkgirl and that whole race
Hungarians.
Thanagarian, or yeah, exactly. Because that was another thing that I was thinking. Like, if you're gonna do a Justice League movie, that's kind of another cool extraterrestrial threat that ends up becoming an ally. You know, that you could work with.
Despero, the alien that has the
Kevin
one
Feige
yellow
is
eye.
good. Kevin Feige is good, Benson, but I wouldn't say he's that good. Because if that were the argument, if that were the case, then I would say then the first Iron Man, the first Thor, and the first Captain America should have all been billion-dollar movies.
Also, Kevin Feige had to learn from the first X-Men that he produced, the first Spider-Man he produced. He was in that Marvel world for a really long time.
He is a great producer. I don't know that anybody could. I mean,
no, he's the greatest producer. He's the greatest producer.
Yeah, I'd say he's the best producer around for sure.
Because let's be real, no one has done what he's done. He stands alone in that sense.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And he has a great group behind him. He has a great parliament that he calls the Marvel Parliament of Continuity behind him, where they're Nate Moore is part of that, where he's the one that grabbed Chloe Zhao for the Eternals. He's the one that got the people for these Disney Plus series. So, and with Luis Despacito and Victoria Alonso, those people are also hands-on with the animated stuff and the other Disney Plus and movies. So it's he has a great team behind him. That's who you have to have. It's not. It's not just you.
Right. I am not wanting this Legion of Doom movie right now.
I mean, Justice League 2 would have been Legion of Doom versus Justice League to an extent, but not.
I know, but
not the way that Warner Brothers thought it was going to be, and that they tried to tease in the end of the 2017 version.
I do think we'll probably get maybe a teaser for Black Adam. I think we'll definitely.
I think so. Like you said, it's done filming. It's done. Yeah. It's been done filmed.
And these guys,
dude, I just want to see Hawkman. Dude, Austin, 100%. And here's the thing, Austin. I want to talk about this really quick. For me, watching the animated series Justice League or reading the Justice League comics, my favorite members were always the second team. I love Red Tornado, Hawkman, Green Arrow.
Yes.
Dude, all those Dr. Fate. To me, the second team of Justice League was always my favorite. I was no, they're the coolest. Get out of my face, the Seven. I love the Seven, but I always wanted to see the second, the Question. Dude, I love the second team Justice League.
Even things there's so that's why I love DC, man. There's so much to draw from, and it feels like Warner Brothers has done absolutely nothing with so much great lore and so much great. Yeah. I mean, dude, the fact Mr. Question or all those characters. I'm literally rewatching Justice League Unlimited right now, so I'm right in the middle of all that. And
dude, you are a real one if you know Red Tornado. If you know Red Tornado, you're a real one.
They have oh my gosh,
Red Tornado might be in Black Adam.
Supergirl's on that team, and Green Arrow, and who else?
Dude. What's his name? Wildcat, the boxer.
Yep.
Dude, he was awesome.
Black Canary, I think, was on there too.
Black Canary.
Stargirl was there.
Yeah. Yes. The Shining Knight.
The Shining Knight, dude. I would love to see the Shining Knight show up in live action.
He had that one episode that was so awesome.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he does show up in Stargirl.
In Justice League Unlimited, there's an episode where he tries to take on this. I think it might be Doomsday. He's trying to take on Doomsday. He's like, "Oh, fight you, monster!"
Yeah. Dude, it was one of the best episodes of Justice League.
It's great.
It was one of the best.
His character in Stargirl is funny. He's
isn't he the janitor?
Yeah, he's the janitor. Amnesia. He doesn't remember, but whenever he touches his broom, he remembers his sword.
I was gonna go back to Austin when he said, "Dude, that episode, it was because there's that one dude who's he's on I think it was Doomsday, but it was a Superman villain, and he was unstoppable. He was like, Superman, where are you, Superman? And he was taking out all the Justice League members. Shining Knight comes in, and he gets knocked down 20 times, and he keeps getting back up.
But he keeps getting back up, and he's like, I'm gonna beat you, and I'm like, you're the best, dude. I just love it.
Dude, no, he was so inspirational. He's like talking in like night tongue.
We got a question here from Billy. Do you guys watch Stargirl? I don't watch Stargirl.
I watched a couple. I'm not up to date, but I heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I don't. Dude, there's so many shows to watch. I still gotta watch Doom Patrol. I just did because of our guy elllish here. Which shout out elllish. He will be the one of the first musical acts on Lean on Me starting next Monday. So very cool. We'll get to see him perform live on the show. Yeah, he says people always forget that when Man of Steel came out, it's coming off the heels of Superman's return, similar to Batman Begins with Batman and Robin. Superman was forgotten at time. Only thing Ron was WB Greed. I agree. But shout out elllish. He's the one that also got me into Titans too. Which are you caught up on Titans, Gavin?
Yeah, I am. I think it's really good,
dude. I actually really like that last episode.
The thing about Titans, people complain a lot about like Bruce and like that stuff, and I get it. But the thing is, like, for a show like that with a budget like that, it's like it could be a little bit worse. It could be so much worse than it is. It's pretty good for what it is.
It is, and I'll be honest with you. I've been processing Titans for a week. I really have. I've that last episode because I'm a diehard on the Jason Todd story. And honestly, when I first heard or first saw right after the second episode that they were going to change it, that Bruce goes and kills the Joker, I was really teed off. I was almost like, okay, I don't want to watch this, because for me, it's like I couldn't think of any other motivation. Right, Jason needs to have that type of driving force and motivation of like the one person in this world that I thought was my father, I gave everything for, and all that I thought he would, if I die, he would come and take the Joker's life. He didn't. And so when they changed that, I was like, okay, you really gotta do something here. And I actually really, really liked the whole, he's kind of made by Scarecrow. He goes from, all right, he tried being the son of a good guy. Let's try being the son of a bad guy. And I really like it. I actually really, really like the twist. So I was gonna ask you, what do you think?
I think that the kid, honestly, I'll be real with you, the kid to me, like he's been getting like lots of hate because Titans is a crap ton show. It gets a lot of crap. But the kid who's played Jason is getting like a lot of trash talk. And I'm like, dude, the kid's doing awesome. Like I'll be real with you, he's doing awesome. And like people forget, like Jason, they're like, he's not as big as I want him. Jason's supposed to be ripped. I'm like, dude, comics makes everybody look ripped. Just because this kid's not insanely comic book jacked does not mean he's not Jason Todd, okay?
He looks the character to me from what I remember. Jason wasn't big. Jason was thin ripped. He was like,
I know, but so the thing with that is it's a comic book, and when you're writing a comic book, it's not real life. Right. People aren't that ripped.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Nobody is. Yeah. Honestly, if I remember, the comic book version of Jason Todd could literally crawl between the crack of a wall. Like he was pretty,
That's how Bruce found him. He was stealing his tire and was going through crevices. Like,
yeah. There you go. I mean, so I think he looks like the hair is on point. I think he looks the part. And I enjoy his performance. He does it very well because you remember, how annoying Jason was, and he does a good job of reminding you why they decided to kill Jason Todd in the comics during that time. But I think that's
definitely
that for me is what attracted him to the character. Attracts me to the character. So definitely we'll see what else we got. So we got Titans. I'm sure hopefully we'll get some talk about what's going to happen in Titans season 4, maybe, or just a tease like when it starts filming, extra casting, maybe.
It says Warner Brothers TV will show off new looks at upcoming seasons of Batwoman, The Flash, Superman, Lois, and Sweet Tooth on Netflix. A tribute to the
Sweet Tooth. That's
interesting. Yeah, Sweet Tooth is amazing on Netflix.
It is.
I recommend everyone to go see Sweet Tooth on Netflix.
Batwoman.
Yeah, Batwoman. It's
That's still a show.
Batwoman is good.
And that's the other thing that we just learned. They cast Poison Ivy for Batwoman. We were talking about it.
I was so excited when I heard that Poison Ivy was cast, and then I heard Batwoman. I was like, yeah. I heard Batwoman. I'm like, okay, like really.
I agree. I saw. I literally was like, yeah, the brain Poison Ivy back, man. After so many years, after Uma Thurman took the character and did what she did with it, and it's going straight to the CW. Go figure. Go freaking.
And we look at the upcoming drama by Ava DuVernay, Naomi, and the sneak peek to upcoming episodes of DC Stargirl. Naomi is promising.
Naomi's from Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, she's
okay. That one I'm interested in. I do like her work a lot. This was the director that was originally attached to Jack Kirby's New Gods.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see where she. Gabe the Bomberg said something that I couldn't agree more with. They need to cancel Teen Titans Go forever. So
I have not watched one episode of that show. Dude, I've watched a scene, and I'm like, I'm never watching this show again.
Where they made fun of the different Jokers. We started going through and I was like, I hate this so much. I think my blood actually started boiling. Because I was like, how do you go from the phenomenal show that was just the regular Teen Titans I'm gonna say to this absolute utter shit.
Yeah.
So
it's like that meme, Austin. What's that meme, Austin, where like it's Ron Swanson from Parks and Recs, where he has like the computer and throws into the trash can? That's me.
Exactly. Dude, it's just like but yeah, Sweet Tooth is really good, and I'm very interested to see more from it. I'm glad that it was very popular and that people saw it. And I wish DC would sell the rest of their stuff to Netflix. But what else do we got here?
Warner Brothers Games division will reveal featurette from the highly anticipated Gotham Knights being developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League being developed by Rocksteady Studios.
So I'm not too hyped for Gotham Knights, only because I wasn't a big fan of Arkham Origins from Montreal, but I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. The also thing that I think is weird is just the story. It feels like it should pick up after Arkham Knight.
Bruce Wayne disappears or dies.
Right. But that's the thing. Arkham Knight ends with Bruce Wayne dying, and then I remember last year when the trailer opened, it was Bruce Wayne saying, "I'm dead, you guys," and I was like, "Oh, this is the follow up to Arkham Knight. Like this is the pickup, right? They're gonna have." And it's like, no, we're starting over. And I was
then I think the Suicide Squad game is in the origin
Arkham Knightverse.
Arkham Knightverse. But
which is like
it is very
Batman's
confusing.
Dead now. So does this take place before dude?
It's
WB.
Get your everything on your games and your movies. Get it.
You can't even get the games right. I mean, you're getting them right, but you can't get the time.
Continuity. They need to get continuity better.
It's co-op, right? Then, like,
I'm gonna be on blood pressure medication by the end of the stream if I keep like realizing all the stupid stuff.
Dude, you want to something funny? It was like the gameplay like last year for DC Fandome Gotham Knights, and they're like, guys, we're doing co-op, and everyone like loses their mind. But then they're like, but it's only 2-player co-op, and everybody's like, you have 4 characters, you're making it 2-player co-op.
Dude, I'm like. Yeah.
I hope they've changed that, but that's what it was. And I remember he was like, what the?
Yep. And I will be honest, right? The Kill the Justice League game definitely interests me far more than Gotham Knights. Because as soon as I found out that Gotham Knights is in the Arkhamverse, I was like, I don't care about this game. I'll be honest, right. I really don't. Like so WB is just continues to show they're all over the freaking place.
It also says HBO Max will give us fans an exclusive look at James Gunn's Peacemaker series as well as limited series DMZ. James Gunn's
my interest is starting to peak for Peacemaker.
DMZ is also by Ava DuVernay, and it has Halle Berry. It's like this like post-apocalyptic world.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, okay. I'll take that. I like Halle Berry.
in a town. It's dystopian. So yeah, the cast is Rosario Dawson, Benjamin Bratt, a bunch of like great, TV actors, and where Alma, who's played by Rosario Dawson, a medic, becomes a symbol of hope in a demilitarized Manhattan Island while trying to also find her lost son during the Second American Civil War. So yeah,
I'm
Ava
definitely
DuVernay directs the pilot, and then Ernest Dickerson directs the rest, and then Robert Pantino writes the whole series.
They're gonna say Robert Pattinson. I'm like, he's doing this too.
Right, dude's all over the place. He did sign that deal with.
Is he gonna work out for this show?
Yeah. He's got to find some show to get him back in the gym.
Right.
Dang. So we got that interesting. And then,
did you see the picture of Andy Serkis? I saw like a picture of Andy Serkis like at a gym or something, and it was like when Alfred is more ripped than the Batman.
For real, it really, yeah.
And also, so Warner Bros. Animation will also feature a new look and first look at the upcoming Aquaman King of Atlantis. FYI, I'm going to show you guys what the King that looks like, and apparently it's, I don't know anymore. It looks bad. It just looks bad.
It looks bad, yeah. And then what was the other thing that we said? Yeah, new look at Aquaman on there.
But look at this.
It's also kind of like that just started. So
look at this. This is supposed to be Amber Heard and Jason Momoa.
What? How is that supposed to be Amber Heard and Jason Momoa?
What?
That's nothing. Yeah, it's not even close.
James Wan is, yeah, it's supposed to be. I don't know. It's just. Bad.
Let's just not talk about it.
People that did that weird show on Cartoon Network that no one wants to like to talk about. So yeah. Anyway,
you think we're gonna look at Shazam too? Since it's been filming for a while.
They said the behind the scenes look. A behind the scenes look.
Okay, that's like a feature.
Behind the scenes.
Like
what are people even gonna look forward to in this freaking DC fandom? Like Batman, everything is either like concept or behind. Yeah, but that's only gonna be like an hour. Like we got Batman, guys, but like everybody's like, but what else? Or like we don't have anything else.
Warner Bros. Entertainment will also preview two original animated films, Injustice, an animated adaptation of the popular game and comics, as well as a new heist film called Catwoman Hunted. The two films are being produced in association with Warner Bros. Animation. DC Publishing will also give looks at a ton of new comic books, and the event will include panels with celebrity guests and creators. So that's DC Fandome.
It just seems, look, and it just does not seem that exciting to me. And it's not the fact that that Snyder's not involved or whatever. It's not that. It's just, look, there are characters that Snyder doesn't need to be there for them to continue. Snyder doesn't need to be there for Henry Cavill to continue as Superman. And I think it's a lot of money that you're losing out on because
it's also just the fact that WB is stare the hill. Like the thing is about WB is they've been saying for like the last 7 years, I'm like, this is the year where we change it, and everybody's all like, really, this is the year?
Yeah,
for like the last 7 years they've said this.
William Powell, who runs the Sci-Fi Center, him and I, we disagree on a couple of things, but the one thing that I do agree with is Warner Brothers has tarnished the DC brand so bad that for me. Well, I'm an optimistic person, and I am excited about some of the movies like The Flash and The Batman. I think it's completely reasonable and understandable why everybody else is not, because there's nothing there besides the Snyderverse that shows them why these movies are good or should be watchable. So
yeah, I'll be real. Sorry, my dogs are barking.
Oh, dude, no, you're good.
I'll be back in a second.
You're good. But so I completely understand the people that are like, no, I don't want to see these movies. I'm not excited for it, and I completely agree with you. I'm on your side even to a certain extent. But I think, them for them not to even have a picture of Ben Affleck's Batman on there, with them knowing like he's gonna be. Honestly, I just would have put him and Robert Pattinson back to back. How freaking cool! And maybe like Michael Keaton's on top of them, like looking over them, like a little like
like
how
the trio,
cool would that be? All
Batman.
3 Batmen, like. But no, they're just like, we want you to only remember one. We want you to only think about one. We want you to only think about the TV version of Superman. We want you to only think about the comic drawn version of Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, I guess, because that's all they have for it. They don't have any live action stuff, even though they keep, or I guess they do. For
what would have
Woman,
been cool is if they gave a first look at like a concept art of the Finn Whitrock Guy Gardner.
That I'd be okay. So I'd love to see
like
some Green
if
Lantern
they used
stuff.
that
It's about
instead
time.
of a John Stewart Green Lantern. Like they would have like used like if they were still going to use like a drawing of a Green Lantern, at least use a concept art of the upcoming Green Lantern show.
Yeah, I would.
Is that still coming? Because that show was announced around the time that New Gods was announced when it first started.
Yeah, they
I just haven't seen
like the whole count.
No, that show's still happening.
Okay, cool.
They're filming in November.
It's been. All those announcements for that old regime have just it's either they're still coming out, we're waiting on something, or it just is not going to happen. Like
it's not happening.
The New Gods is not going to happen.
They're filming mid-September, I believe. But I'm not sure on that. But speaking of
look, I won't argue with this statement right in here, as Benson, because I do disagree in a couple things. But look, I won't argue with this, and that is DC does not make comic book movies for a general audience. They make it for a very specific audience, and they don't make comic book movies for a whole audience. They make it for specific audiences, and that's why I think these films never, reach the full potential. I actually personally think that Zack Snyder's Justice League is a whole audience type movie. I know it's 4 hours long and all that type of stuff, but that of all the DC movies, I feel like anybody can get into that. I think obviously I know people have an issue with the 4 hour length. That's hard, but I enjoy it. I know it's not for everybody, but Green Lantern show is probably going to be coming out in 2023. Yeah, I agree. And Geoff Johns is still behind that, right, Caiden?
Geoff Johns,
he's a producer, but he's not a writer, or he's not like creatively involved. No.
Okay.
He's involved with the movie.
Oh, great.
He's writing the movie, but not the show.
Honestly, can they just I know people are so sick of it, but they have the whole Discovery thing. I wouldn't mind just a complete reboot and just figure their shit out. Like, I know people were like, "No, you can't reboot. There's something there," and I'm like, "What's there?" All that's there are broken pieces of other people's good stuff, and that's what they have.
I agree. I agree, man.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but at this point, I don't care. I only care about maybe 3 things out of a 20-panel DC Fandome event.
Yeah, all I care about the Batman, Flash, and the video games. I actually said yesterday, because somebody put the poster in a group chat that we were in, and I was like, the most exciting thing out of that for me was the Batman Fortnite crossover, because I play Fortnite. And that when you have a fandom that's got a Flash movie, Aquaman, all these other things, and those are the things that people are most excited about, it's pretty bad.
WB also isn't really great at building up hype, because everything they do is very controversial. So when they try to build up hype, it's like they're afraid to, It's but maybe they're not good at what they do. They don't know how to properly advertise their projects.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that's the thing. That's why I say sometimes do these guys even like money? Because there's so many great opportunities of money just throwing itself at them, and they're just nah, we want to do what we want because out of spite. So I don't know. I do think definitely, I this whole transition with the merger and all that is one to see what happens, and I can only hope for the best. And says the Discovery deal worries me. You could see that Karate Channel giving No Neck Ed a role back. No, oh my gosh, Ed! He's talking about Ed from the TLC show. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm from 90 Day Fiancé. Ah! That's hilarious. Could you imagine? Dude, hey, Betson, he'd make a great penguin, and you know that is the truth. So that would be pretty fun.
You like the river I gave you?
Right? Oh my gosh. I think that's hilarious. I mean, look, I can only hope for the best. Zaslav comes from
Austin just seems so like out of life right now. Like he's like every single time he talks about DC, Austin just like
it's just like they're in the shit can, and as far as I'm concerned, like they'd have to do a complete 360, and I mean, yeah, they're in a hole, and they just keep digging themselves a deeper hole.
I was watching the Den of Nerds live today because I'm a huge fan of Josh and what he does in the show, and he starts and so this DC Fandom theme starts, and he starts the video with like, guys, get ready, because I'm about to shit on this.
Guys, get ready, dude. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's
He's
honestly
like, I'm gonna tell you why everything here sucks.
Yeah, when I saw that DC Fandom poster, dude, my blood started to boil. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, because that way it did feel a little bit like this is just a direct slap in the face. So if you liked Zack Snyder's stuff, screw you, it's gone. You know, like, so that's how I feel about it.
It's not even Zack Snyder. Like, Austin, me, you being DC fans, we just want to like, I'm fine if Zack never does another DC movie. I just want, like, good stuff. Yeah. I want a cohesive story. I want good movies. Like, dude, The Joker was awesome. I love The Joker. But when are we going to get another one of those kind of movies that do that good for DC? Like, 7 years, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, you know, they didn't have the faith in that and sold off the, you know.
I know, dude. They thought the Joker was gonna bomb, and so they gave who's the director of that?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. I heard that him and WB had like a really strange relationship. Like they kind of
budget by $100 million. It was $100 million budget. It was supposed to be $200 million, but they cut it by 100. And then it was $100 million budget, but he worked with it. As you can see, it's amazing.
And it did $1 billion.
Yeah, the dude didn't need the two. I mean, and I'll be honest, probably the big thing helping Todd Phillips in his corner was probably Martin Scorsese and his relationship with Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
that probably was a massive help because Scorsese was.
I'm sure if Walter meddled even more, they would have cut it even more and made it into a series. Like a limited series on HBO Max, like $50 million. Here's $50 million, and they'll make it into a series, and that would, like, again, I'm sure it would be amazing, but it's just like you're dealt with these cards, and you have to
but then no, I'm sorry, dude, a series would have never made $1 billion for them. They would have like
and it's But moving on to Disney.
I was gonna say, any final thoughts on the DC fandom, guys, before we
dude, honestly, it just sucks to be a DC fan right now.
It's not
honestly, dude. Like even the good stuff is like average. Averagely good.
Dude, I'm not the craziest Marvel fan, but I'm way more excited for everything Marvel than I am about DC. And speaking of Marvel, let's transition into talking about some Disney.
Austin's mood just got a lot more happier.
Exactly, man. It's the multiverse. I mean, dude, I'm gonna see like Toby and Andrew back. DC ain't. I'm sorry, like, cool. Keaton's coming back. I wasn't born in the 80s.
I know, dude. Yeah, like Keaton's coming back. So, oh wait, we knew about this like what 2 years ago. Like what's happening in Marvel rumors?
Think of like you're
X-Men?
only appealing to
Fox?
What? Right, exactly. Yeah,
it's so much more hyped.
It really
so much more hyped.
It really is. But with that, guys, new episode of What If tonight. And it's supposed to be the big Doctor Strange episode.
Evil Doctor
So-
Strange, Supreme
Yeah.
Strange.
Jeffrey Wright's favorite episode.
That's what?
Jeffrey Wright said this is his favorite episode.
And
Ooh.
one of the head writers said it was his favorite episode.
Oh, I can't wait. So what do you got? What are your guys' thoughts and predictions? Last week was I loved the twist last week with evil Hank Pym and all that. I think it's pretty clear.
I wonder what's going on here.
Oh, evil Doctor Strange versus a good Doctor. Look, there's a lot of.
Is that our Strange?
Yes, that's our Strange versus.
So this technically connects to the MCU.
Yes. Yes, I think
this
is
is our Strange here, and then this is our Strange versus the Doctor Strange Supreme that is going to be highlighted in this episode.
So what do you guys think about this theory that this show is going to introduce the evil Doctor Strange, and then that's who's in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, is the evil Doctor Strange from the show?
Ooh.
Think there's any legitimacy to that? Or,
that was my theory as well. So
okay,
I like it. I like that theory because it was also my theory. So, but at the same time, I know it's like that's like my second thing. Like that's my second hand, but I know it's like our Strange. He's just acting weird because he's strange. He's cold. He's cold. So
the devil burns cold. Yeah. I don't think it's Mephisto. If it is,
no, it's not Mephisto.
Good on Marvel because they really have gotten me to a place where I never think I'm going to see Mephisto.
Yeah, no, dude. Good on Marvel for ruining my life.
Yeah,
Mephisto.
For literally making exactly.
Dude, imagine if he shows up though. Like how funny would it be? I would die laughing.
I don't know if I'm gonna scream out of excitement or walk out of the theater in anger. It's gonna be one of those two things.
Dude, I'll probably just die laughing. I'm like, they played us. They played us.
I don't know.
They played us hard.
I won't be. I laughed at Ben Kingsley and I kind of chuckled at Boner. This one it's gonna be either or it's gonna be like these motherfuckers, and I'm gonna leave the theater. So
they did it again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean I think there's something more I think to this what if stuff that's going to be included. That's why I think I kind of believe that it's more so the evil variant of Doctor Strange. I think Marvel is they're being light in how serious that this what if stuff is going to impact the main timeline of the MCU. So Benson says I have zero interest in this cartoon. I don't think it's Mephisto and Spider-Man. Oh, okay. I heard this theory too.
Loki,
I like this theory. I don't think it would happen, but I like the theory a lot, and I would love to see it happen. So there's a theory that Doctor Strange is Loki. He's disguised himself as Loki.
And that's why he sucks at magic.
Right. And he's basically there as Doctor Strange because he's looking for Sylvie. He's searching for Sylvie. And so I was I like that idea, but I don't.
If you look, Austin, there's a teaser for the new Strange episode that's coming out tonight, the What If episode, and it was a teaser, and it was and it's explaining it, and it was what if Doctor Strange, instead of losing his hands, lost his heart, and the premise is gonna be the girl that he loves, what's her name from the first movie,
Rachel
dies.
McAdams.
Yeah, she dies, and that leads him on this
path. Or is it
path.
Christine Palmer?
I think it's Rachel McAdams. I think it's Rachel McAdams.
She's played by Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams.
Right.
Yeah, she's played by her.
Yeah.
But what was cool is the beginning of the teaser. It's like in a Loki, the Loki, how it had the time looking Dean with the lines.
The TVA.
Yeah, the TVA thing.
Yes,
that's what the beginning of this Strange teaser starts out with, and I'm like, so it is all connected.
Okay, see, that would be.
It also did that with Black Panther, and they did that with Black Panther and also with Nick Fury. What if Nick Fury's big week was a murder mystery, or what if someone was killing the Avengers, and that person was Hank Pym because Hope and.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You know what? I always thought that was just the Watcher bullshit. Because like the first couple minutes of the What If is just the Watcher being a weird ass, being like, "I see everything. I see you. This over here. This." I'm like, this dude is creepy. He's like Santa Claus, but doesn't do anything. He just watches you.
I am the Watcher.
I can't interfere, and then he interferes like in like episode 5.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm excited for it. I think, but I do think Marvel has, I think, some bigger plans. I think for this show, and I think this is going to be one of those shows that it's going to be like, I don't think everybody's going to tune into it right away, but then when stuff starts to happen in the movies, they're going to be like, oh crap, I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And and they're going to go back. What
AC Bradley said, the head, either he was the head, they are the head writer, head director, whatever. I don't know. One of the head people. Said that this is a yearly release show. So next year we'll get season 2. The year after we'll get season 3. Next season is phase 4 stuff, included with all the other phases. I think that next season's premiere is Tony and Sakaar.
Oh, okay. Tony and Sakaar. Okay.
Because I think they pushed that episode from this season to next season.
Right. When is the Vision episode where like Ultron takes over Vision's body? Is that
I think next week is the Black Widow episode, and then the episode after that is the zombie episode, and then it's going to be.
How many episodes of What If are there?
10.
Okay.
And we're on episode 4.
Right.
So next week is Black Widow. The episode after Black Widow is the zombie. Then I think the last 3 episodes are the Ultron stuff. The Ultron Vision.
Doesn't Killmonger have to be one?
Oh yeah,
and Killmonger and Tony Stark.
Killmonger.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think the show is gonna be really good.
Oh, Party Thor as well.
Yeah.
Party Thor.
I think people are gonna. I think it's gonna be a missed one that people end up tuning into later. But next up with the Disney stuff, obviously Star Wars. There's a couple of Star Wars things that came out in the last week, as far as oh, look at that, him and Baby Grogu. But as far as Obi-Wan finishing filming, and the Book of Boba Fett, and Robert Rodriguez came out and kind of talked a little bit more about that and how gritty the show is and how it really is the next
Book of Boba.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait for that show.
Seeing like all of these bounty hunters come back, like the friends and foes aspect, where foes are becoming friends and friends are becoming foes.
Yep.
That aspect as well, like where.
And I think we'll see
Cad Bane in live action.
Oh gosh, that's the big one, dude. It's like, and I think the Bad Batch set that up perfectly. When I saw him return in the Bad Batch, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god, my child! No, he's back!" I was like freaking out. It was great, and but I always thought, like, if they brought him into live action, like, who would you guys cast? Who do you guys think that is going to play Cad Bane?
Whenever someone brings up Cad Bane, I always think Bryan Cranston.
No
clue why.
I got that in my head now because of you, I think.
When Cad Bane's always brought up, I always just think Clint Eastwood, but there's no way he's going to do it. And plus, with someone like that, I feel like it's going to be a motion capture role. So I just think it might or like makeup or prosthetics. I think it just might be the same voice actor. That's what I would do, especially if it's like, I don't know if it's going to be like a real person,
Well, like Thrawn, it's going to be Lars Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
The same guy that voices is going to play Thrawn in the live action. So that would be interesting. But dude, could you imagine Clint Eastwood in the Star Wars universe, man? Just being, oh my gosh. People would lose their minds.
That would be like, also, isn't Bosk in this show though? Isn't Bosk supposed to be in this?
As well as
Bosk? Oh, dude. Also Embo. You guys remember Embo from Clone Wars?
Yes. Dear Lord, this show is having everything. And then I heard, now I don't know if this is true, I heard that even there's a possibility of like the Bad Batch showing up in the show, or like Omega and then those types of guys. And I
think Omega is more likely. Bad Batch would be cool. Bad Batch would be cool, but it's also like It's so much. Like Bad Batch. Like how much money would it be just to make their outfits?
Yeah.
It's like $5,000 just right there.
and just the difficulty of having the clones without their helmets.
Yeah, and also like it also kind of ruined the output of what happens near the end of the series. Like what happens to all of them.
Yeah. Also, aren't clones supposed to age like twice, like the normal age?
No,
like
they age slower.
Yeah.
They age faster because they have to have been a kid and have to grow up and be a soldier.
Age faster. But Boba and Omega age slower.
Yeah, they're unaltered. But what I'm saying is the Bad Batch wouldn't be. They would be really old by that time.
They'll be Rex age.
Yeah.
Right. But Rex is still capable of doing a lot.
Yeah,
of stuff.
Rex is still around. Because
he's Santa Claus.
But he's the Santa Stormtrooper.
Tamara Morrison and Rex are the same age. If you think about it.
Exactly. So I think it's plausible, right, to have those guys in there, and you can just kind of say, look, they already were experimented on and whatever. They're still.
Oh yeah, they're unaltered genes, like shorten their growth or something.
Right.
Random science bullshit.
But I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about this show. Big reason is because I'm a big fan of Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez is the director. He directed the Boba Fett episode of Mandalorian where he returns, and for me, that was a side of Star Wars that I had never seen before, but always wanted to. It was violent, it was gritty, it was brutal, and
it was probably some of the best choreography I've seen in Star Wars. Especially with like the shaky camera and the stunts, like all like the staff hits. Like you felt the staff hits.
It hurt.
You felt those. When Boba was in those stormtroopers, I was like, dang, dude, I felt that.
Yeah,
just because the way the camera was moving.
My gosh, I agree. And when you hear this guy, when you hear Robert talk about his love for this character and how, as a kid, when he saw Empire Strikes Back, like him and his friends imagined him as just this character being the most badass bounty hunter in the galaxy, just capable of all this stuff, and how he's able to bring that to life now as an adult through the show and through Disney Plus and Star Wars. When he talks about it, it makes me like giddy, like a little kid. I'm like, I cannot wait to see this.
He's one of my favorite directors. Even like Alita Battle Angel.
Alita, I was just about to bring up, and he was talking actually in an interview. He was talking that he's hoping that the Book of Boba Fett does well enough for the Disney executives to offer him Alita 2, because he says that obviously they're in a different situation now where he works at Disney. They own it, and Disney owns the volume. So a film that would potentially cost almost $300 million to make now is more in the $150 million range with the volume and being able to utilize those things.
I think Alita gets a bad rap because the reviews. First of all, the release date was terrible. It came out the worst time.
Put it in February, dude.
Dude, that's a summer movie. You gotta go. That is a summer movie. But also, like the reviews, like it just felt like people were just bombing it. Like they're like, this is so. It would just. I just got a huge headache watching it. I'm like, well, what'd you watch it in? And they're like 3D. I'm like, motherfucker, that's why.
Right. Right. No, I agree. Oh, wow. It only has a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it did exactly what you would want, first movie like this to do. And it builds the world and it intrigues you. What'd you say?
What are we talking about now? Sorry.
Alita? Oh, come on.
Alita. I was just
I thought for the first minute it was exciting. It was engaging. It got my curiosity in the rest of the world. It had an interesting villain. I don't know why. Robert Rodriguez was directing it. James Cameron wrote it. I don't know what this movie had going against it. I really don't.
No.
Edward Norton was the villain.
And Edward Norton.
It's got a 92% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. People love this movie, and I think I think sometimes these studios, their expectations are too high. They don't allow these movies to breathe, and they they go, okay, you're going to start a new franchise. This first movie better make $1 billion. If not, you're done. And it's kind of like, well, I like as a director, if that were the case for me, it's like, oh, I kind of don't even want to make the movie anymore because it's like we need to give it that space. So it doesn't have to be $1 billion movie. It doesn't have to blow the box office out of the water or be one of the greatest things of all time. But if it gets people interested, and if enough people like it, that in itself should warrant a sequel, not necessarily the box office. And unfortunately, Alita fell to that box office.
I feel like people are just, they don't, like, I know what's his name said it, but like cinema has changed so much. Like people, like I would never in a million years look at a Rotten Tomato score and have that depend on I'm going to see a movie. People do that. They'll look at a Rotten Tomato score and like, I don't know if I want to see this movie. Let me look at Rotten Tomato. I'm like, first of all, that's like the stupidest thing you could do.
Okay, look, sometimes I've done it, and I won't lie. I did that with X-Men Dark Phoenix because I was so disappointed with Apocalypse. And I was like,
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. And then I saw the score for Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix was bad, but I'll be real. One of those things made me really emotional. It's like the end scene with like Charles and Xavier playing chess. I remember watching that in theaters and I'm like,
I saw the clip. I saw that clip and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I remember watching that in theaters and being like, dang, these characters have been through so much. And I was like, damn. Shit, man. Because, dude, they are, first of all, not only are they like the most powerful mutants, Xavier and Eric, but dude, they are just like their relationship in comics, in books, in movies is like one of the best in comics. Their rivalry, their relationship, it's incredible.
Right. I agree. Billy says that's what Ty was saying the other night. Austin, should the people making films have an interest in whether the movies are good or not? Rather, look, it's an equal balance of both. I think. Now, look, if Alita came out and did like $150 million, yeah, there you got to go, okay, nobody wanted to see this. We're not going to do a sequel.
Right.
Plain and simple.
I think, like with Nia DaCosta and like the Marvels is a good example where she's a fan of it. At the same time, she knows what Marvel can do with the money, and she knows that they can make the money, and she's also a fan. So that's a well-balanced thing. At the same time with Candyman, she was a fan of Candyman and Jordan Peele, and she knows that Jordan Peele movies can make money. So she had that appeal. Boom. Like those directors and creatives have to find that balance. And I think Marvel does that well, where they find that balance where, oh, people have interest in this character, in this group of people, or in this event. And also, since they have interest, will make a lot of money. Not just
I agree.
and we also
and Nick brings
people
up
who are interested in that as well. We have to get people who are interested to direct and write these things as well, to do these things. Because if we get someone who's just like, I'll do it for the money, then just for the money, then you will make that event or that group uninteresting.
Exactly. And Nick brings up a good point, right, with the Star Wars stuff. So Nick, you this is an interesting conversation for me, of course, because I love Star Wars, but I find Star Wars to be an anomaly. It really is. Star Wars is the one IP and franchise that I just find to be an anomaly because obviously people hate on Star Wars. Star Wars fans hate on Star Wars films.
No, honestly,
I mean,
Austin, you are right. Star Wars fans are the worst fans. And I'm worst. One, and I'll say this right now. I'm one of them. I'll say this. I'll say this right now. Star Wars fans are the worst, and because they're crazy. And here's the thing: I've had this conversation. I'm like, it's crazy throughout the board. If you think all this Star Wars is bad, then you're crazy. Because not all of it's bad. But if you think all of it's good, you're also crazy. Because there's no way that all Star Wars is good. Like people who think that the sequel trilogy, like, oh, I like the sequel trilogy. I'm like,
hey man, The Last Jedi.
Okay.
No, but you're right. You're absolutely right in that people hate on these. But like you look at The Last Jedi, it is not liked amongst audiences, obviously. That movie still is $1 billion or almost $1 billion movie. I don't know if it is $1 billion movie or not, but it's
Rise of Skywalker was.
Rise of Skywalker, which is in my humble opinion, just complete and utter trash garbage and a failure to the Star Wars franchise as a whole.
My whole thing with
that movie still made so much money, and it's like
because Palpatine.
I think there's a lot of reasons why that one made, but still
they
Force
messed
Awakens,
up because the whole trailers. Do you remember the hype for it, Austin? The whole trailer was like, "This is the last of the Skywalker trilogy," and they would show the flashbacks in the trailers and be like, "This is the end of the end of the end," and they're getting all the fans packed up. We're bringing back Palpatine. We're bringing back everything, and then it sucks.
Right, exactly, and that's what the whole movie was relying on, is that we're gonna bring back Palpatine.
Hey, we blame it on Palpatine. Why it sucks?
Yeah,
because he was meddling
and no rest of
into
the story, and it was So, but again, right? Those movies made so much. The only Star Wars movie that didn't make a ton of money was Solo, and that was because it was at a time that literally nobody wanted it. I think if it actually would have come out at a different time, it would have made.
If it came out last year, before the pandemic, of course, I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, I think it just came out at a time.
It was also the movie after The Last Jedi, right? People were just not. They were just not in the mood for Star Wars at that point.
I don't think it was in the mood. It was just like, we want to see, people wanted to see Luke go off.
And I actually like Solo. I don't think Solo's that bad.
I do too. I think Solo was actually a really good movie. And what's really cool about it is Harrison Ford fully endorsed that movie.
Yeah, and he never endorses a Star Wars movie because he doesn't like Star Wars. But he endorsed this one.
He was all over it, and he talked about how he loved Aldrin, whatever. Right, he loved his take on the character.
He loved him because it wasn't him.
It wasn't a copy, exactly.
Exactly. He loved it because it wasn't him. He was
like, as long as it's not me, I love you.
Ty says the Star Wars fandom changes their mind like I change underwear. Well, if you change underwear at least 5 to 6 times a day, then you're correct. Harrison Ford also said he doesn't care. He cares about Solo. That was the one thing he cared about.
Yeah, he cares about his character, but he doesn't care about any other thing.
Right. He cares about if they're gonna work his character, and he's not playing. He's like, well, you better keep the integrity.
Dude, his Rise of Skywalker performance was the most driest shit I've ever seen. You could totally tell, like, he didn't even have his hair right. You could totally tell that he just showed up there, on set, and all like, "You're my son. I'm just here because of fucking money. They gave me a lot of money."
And everybody was like,
Indiana Jones 5 in 2 years, so might as well do this.
Right. Rogue One is the best of all the new ones by far. So I actually agree. I think Rogue One is one of the better Star Wars movies made in the newer trilogy for sure. I think it's probably the best next to Last
It's
Jedi.
a nice Star Wars story.
But I'll tell you
that's why I'm excited for Andor.
This is what I have an issue with Rogue One. It does absolutely nothing to affect the Star Wars story as a whole. Overall.
It just adds to
it literally it doesn't even add
New Hope.
What does it really add to?
Honestly, I don't care. That 1 minute of Vader killing everybody was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Best scene of Vader
in the theater. I stood up and I started clapping. I was like,
it added Diego Luna, and then it killed Diego Luna.
And then they made a series about Diego Luna's character.
Okay, so I'm not talking about Andor. I don't know if I'm sure Andor will add some more lore, but I think the movie Rogue One, while I think it's probably the best Star Wars movie to come out of the Disney franchise, it did absolutely nothing to further the story of the movie. It did nothing of the franchise. It did nothing to affect the overall story. It literally was. You talk about cul-de-sac. That's a cul-de-sac. That is a cul-de-sac if I have ever seen one. I don't count Endor because Endor is going to be a prequel. You cannot do anything after Rogue One. There cannot be a sequel.
Technically, New Hope is the sequel. I mean, yeah.
But it doesn't do anything to affect New Hope. I can watch
what Austin is saying.
Rogue One.
This is what
nothing changes.
This is what Austin is saying. If someone was watching the Star Wars movies in order and skipped Rogue One, it wouldn't matter.
It would affect absolutely nothing in the overall story of Star Wars. You would be like,
it's just a Star Wars story in the middle of everything that's going on.
That's why it's called a Star Wars story.
A Star Wars story, right. but still, I still really I do think it's a great.
Yeah, I
great
really
movie.
like it. I
The
think
latest
it
Star Wars trilogy was not a planned. Yes, and that's why I
Yeah,
think
it was
Yeah.
because J.J. Abrams came in. He was like, "Oh, do you want me to do one or a trilogy?" And they're like,
just do one.
eh,
Well,
eh,
they were
you can
doing
do
they were
you can
doing
do
the
whatever. You
Lucas.
can do a
They were doing
trilogy. You
the
can do
OG
one.
approach. They were doing the
Yeah.
OG approach, which was a
Yeah.
different director for each movie.
Right, and I wish that I said Curtis or something. Oh my god. But like, yeah, I wish we got the because like like J.J. Abrams had like the ending shot for the Force Awakens, and then they hired Ryan Johnson, and then he reshot the ending, and
Right.
then that's what kind of like confused everyone on what's happening in Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Um,
and
It's
look,
also
that's
just
the
two
thing.
totally different
and
tones.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
then-
Last Jedi is so not The Force Awakens. In The Force Awakens, I'll be real with you, I went back and watched it. And I think the hype made it better than it was. I went back and watched it, and it is not as good as people think it is.
What to me the nostalgia still makes it a better movie than it is. Because I still watch that movie and I still get excited and far more than I did in any of the other movies that came along, right? Like when they show the Millennium Falcon again,
I don't love The Force Awakens, but I like The Force Awakens more than any of the other sequel trilogy movies.
Yeah, but that's not that hard to like it more than the other two.
right.
Yeah, I agree. And but overall, I think Star Wars, is
they're better
that
as
fandom
series.
and I think the series are
also
doing really well.
Dave
That
Filoni
revived it.
should have been there.
Dave Filoni and Dave Filoni should have been part
Filoni
he should have. I bet you if Dave Filoni, because the thing about the sequel trilogy is they did their own thing. They didn't even take anything from the books. Like the fans who spent years with the books and the comics and all that stuff, learning about like the Thrawn books, they got nothing. They just got forgotten. Like the Disney was like, no, we're gonna do our own thing. And Dave Filoni's like, no, but I like the books too. And what that's all about Dave. He pulls from everything. He has something for every Star Wars fan. That's why The Mandalorian appeals to so many people, because there's an episode about Boba. Like, if you're like a Boba fan, you like Bounty Hunter, bam, you got your episode. There's an episode about Ahsoka. If you're a Clone Wars fan, Rebels fan, bam, you got your episode. The dude brought back Luke an episode. If you were original trilogy, if you grew up in that age, bam, you're a grown-ass man crying.
Even things with Legends, right? If you're fans of the Legends stuff, we're gonna bring that into canon for you and stuff. And it's like, what Filoni and Favreau have done is they have absolutely revitalized the Star Wars franchise. I mean, they've done it in a way that it feels like when you watch The Mandalorian, and I mean, really, when I watch The Mandalorian, when I watch the Clone Wars, and when I watch the Bad Batch, I have the same feelings and emotions that I had watching the original trilogy when I was 8 years old for the first time.
Because Dave was the apprentice of George. George Lucas helped Dave Filoni. Honestly, Dave Filoni is like dude, exactly. Dave Filoni knows so much about Star Wars that I don't like. You watch like the behind the scenes episodes of The Mandalorian, and the stuff that he knows is crazy, bro. Like he knows like he knows like all the Jedi at the temple during this or this and this. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you know this? This dude is such a nerd.
Right. I like that Benson said the film should have been called "We Couldn't Think of Anything New, so here's another Death Star, Star Wars." Da-da! Da-da-da!
Dude,
that would have been pretty funny if that was the opening crawl.
Austin, what was that one line in Rise of Skywalker where Poe's all like, "Somehow Palpatine returned"? I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this?
Somehow Palpatine's back, and it's like.
He's like, somehow Palpatine has returned. I'm like, you really couldn't come up with a better excuse.
They totally ruined Christina's script with that whole Rise of Skywalker. It was supposed to be dual fates with Colin and Chris, and then it turned into JJ and Chris, and then it was JJ and Chris again, and then it was just this. Then it was just Disney.
Yeah, they should have just kept Colin Trevorrow, and then the
dude, he had a really cool idea. The whole going back, Kylo Ren was gonna be at Mortis. Kylo Ren was gonna go to Mortis.
Take my money. take my money. That is
What the-
so in
dude,
line with what
what
I
he went back-
wanted to see.
I like that they went back to Mustafar, but again, he went back to Mustafar for what? The Sith holocron that was apparently still there, even though we knew the Sith holocron was gone forever.
Right.
Also, it's just really cool to see Kylo in Vader's castle. It was so cool.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
but also like, dude,
And
what
then-
is? Dude, they even like,
seeing
and
Finn-
even in that cut, the Knights of Ren, like, dude, the Knights of Ren are like one of the biggest jokes in Star Wars. They literally look so cool. They probably have a really cool story. Didn't do shit with them. Nothing. Knights of Ren died. They came and died, bro. They were like, it's like a waste of characters.
Like it's
The Knights of Ren.
Wasn't like the Knights of Ren supposed to be like
That
I remember
was
the Force
another
Awakens
missed
and the
opportunity.
Last
Look,
Jedi.
the Knights
they
of
were
Ren,
set up
the
to
whole
they were-
Snoke thing, all of that
Yeah,
was all set up.
yeah,
And just
like-
failed. But that was because of the miscommunication in directors for some
Right.
unknown reason. JJ said, okay, you guys hire me for one movie, cool. Go hire the other two directors because I need to meet.
and then we can
and like right, but they never did that, and it's funny. I mean,
Yeah,
and this will wrap up our
like,
Star Wars
they
talk
didn't
here.
hire Ryan Johnson until like the last month of shooting for the Force Awakens.
Right.
And then like, but JJ had a quote unquote plan for the sequel of it, but wasn't sure if Ryan would.
Well,
take
he didn't know
or
what
not.
Ryan was gonna do. He just left
Right.
it right.
He was
Exactly.
just like, you know what, you
But
do
that's
you
the
because
thing,
I don't
right?
want to do. I want you to watch
JJ
this and to see what you can do with this, and then he's like, okay. Oh, I don't like your ending, so I'm gonna reshoot it with Luke being this way.
Well,
And
I
then
don't
it's
know
just
if it was necessarily that. I don't think it was that at all. I don't think Ryan.
This is just a 20-minute rant about the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I know. I know. And that's what I'm saying. To kind of wrap it up, because JJ did come out a couple weeks ago and was like, look, in all honesty, yeah, that Star Wars, there was no plan. There was absolutely no plan to the Star Wars series and how they did it and how they approached it. And he said he looks back on that as a regret. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. We still got three.
I wish that they're giving Ryan a second chance. I hope after JJ's done with Warner Brothers and stuff.
No, stop. Nope. No.
I'll stop then.
Leave him out of it.
Okay.
Leave JJ away from Star Wars. I'm sorry. I already got enough. I got enough of the lens flares from Star Trek, okay? I don't need them in Star Wars too.
JJ Abrams' Superman is gonna be somehow Superman Henry Cavill has returned, or there's gonna be
somehow Zod has returned.
Yeah, so somehow Brainiac has returned, or the dumbest shit ever. Somehow Superman is now black.
Well,
exactly.
If they have Kathleen Kennedy write the script, then yes, you'll have that.
Oh, but she's fired, didn't you hear? She's no longer a part of
Yeah.
That's from our tarot cards and Black Mirrors.
Right, yeah. But that'll do our 20 to 30 minute Star Wars rant. I love I can talk about Star Wars literally for days.
Yeah, the Mandalorian's great.
Dude, oh my god.
Oh my god, I love the Mandalorian.
Why did you trying to bring me back? I left, I got out, and you had to bring me back in.
Out and they pulled me back in.
Bring me back in, Gavin. Just to end with the Disney stuff there.
God.
We do have this week. Billie Eilish has a concert film debuting on the Flutes.
It's like both a live action and animated concert, right?
I actually know nothing about the film itself. The only thing I know is that it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, and that's the only reason I'll be watching it.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. You put those two together, and I'll end up watching it. So that's another thing for Robert and his relationship with Disney, which he did say. He was very clear in the article that he's like, I'm definitely kissing Disney's ass, so they'll let me make Alita. And he said he doesn't care if it's for theatrical or Disney Plus. He just wants to make Alita 2. And he did say that him and James are planning on pitching it to Disney pretty soon. So that would be, I think he's just waiting for the reaction of Book of Boba Fett and how he does with that. And that'll be pretty cool to see him.
I want Robert Rodriguez to stay with Disney, definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely, Disney and Netflix are utilizing Robert to the very extent that they are using him to. I'm glad that they're doing. Like Netflix is doing the Shark Boy and Lava Girl stuff there, like Heroes Again.
That's the only thing.
Only the real ones remember the OG Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
Apparently, he just did that movie for Netflix.
But they recasted Taylor Lautner.
Well, that's because he's.
Some,
I don't think he's in a
mute actor.
I don't think Taylor Lautner. I don't think Taylor Lautner is in Shark Boy shape anymore. I think that's why they.
Yeah,
dude. Let's be real. That movie was had the worst dialogue I think I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, the Spy Kids movies and all those were terrible, but so good.
What was the
one
line? It was all like
Vegan Floop is my favorite Spy Kids villain, just because of the way he turned claymation into people. Like
they brought George Clooney in for a Spy Kids movie.
Yeah,
they brought in
Alan Cummings.
They were fun. They were fun.
Dude, if you watch Spy Kids Cooked, bro, you were having a seizure, bro. Spy Kids, especially the third one. The third Spy Kids gave me I think it kind of made me retarded. Dude,
you don't remember the lava monsters and rock? Come on.
The one that they're in the video game.
Yeah, I think Spy Kids 3. Oh my god, dude.
With the glasses.
Dude, what the hell was that?
Right. We do have a couple last things here to cover before we wrap up the show. Obviously, Shang-Chi. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Shang-Chi releases this Thursday. Obviously, there's a lot of hype, I think, behind that. What do you guys think? How do you guys think that's going to do at the box office? Do you think?
I think it's going to do very well.
Okay. Gavin. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were just going to do the simple. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was going to do well. Next.
No. I think it's going to do very well because again, it's the next big Marvel movie that everyone's going to be and it's going to I think Simu has explained it very well that it's also the very one of the first real live action Asian-led superhero movies, and it's definitely going to open doors for more of those. It's also going to be, it also has flipping Wong and Abomination fighting each other, and then it has the 10 rings that we are dying to know more about, and the Mandarin we're dying to learn more about. So it's definitely going to answer those questions that were asked in Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 and All Hail the King one shot, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of people are dying to see it because again, and also you have a great cast, and also I just read that the girl who plays Shang-Chi's sister, Zilang, the actress who played her, found her husband on set. Now they're married.
There you go. That's
nice.
They
didn't have a big ceremony or whatever, but they're now married. I'm just whoa.
That's always a nice sentiment, right?
That's a marvelous couple right there.
And now they're divorced. Caiden ruined it.
That was the final straw. With that, no, I'm kidding. But Benson, just to address, I don't know what the number actually represents. It's actually a Disney World neon cap, so I don't.
Oh, let me look.
I don't know. But it is my
Disney.
favorite. Disney. It's Disney.
Dude, we got an op, guys. Austin's an op. He's working for them.
Oh.
I unfortunately have been sent to infiltrate the Snyder Cut movement and sabotage it from the inside.
Wait, Austin. Do you have Jack? Austin has Jack.
James Gunn. Are you the person that sent James Gunn to do the Suicide Squad to infiltrate them?
Dang.
Anyways, the Billie Eilish
responsible for the Peacemaker series
this Friday on.
You have a lot to do. We have a lot of things happening this Friday. We have Shang-Chi and Billie Eilish, Robert Rodriguez.
Well,
crossover.
when it comes to Shang-Chi, I think it's going to do well. I don't know, how well it's going to do. It's got to be different. This film cannot follow the same, strategy that like Black Widow and that the rest of the Marvel origin films have. It's got to be different. It's got to set itself apart and be unique for Phase 4, which everything that I'm hearing, it seems like that's what it is. So I think that I'm hoping for it. I actually think that I agree with Benson. I think Shang-Chi will probably be on Disney Plus I was thinking by November.
Yeah,
that was my guess.
45-day release on theaters, and then it hits Disney Plus right after that. So it's
I
45 days.
Hey George,
I wouldn't be surprised if Shang-Chi does better than Eternals. I wouldn't be surprised because honestly,
I do think Eternals will do better. Yeah.
Apparently, according to some insiders, but we don't know if this is true because it's Vulture, or whatever they're called. And they said some other things like Venom 2 was going to be delayed, but then it happens not to be delayed.
I always thought and argued that Shang-Chi, if you're going to introduce him so late in the game with Phase 4, do it with the Disney Plus series. Honestly, I had concerns from the beginning of this and Black Widow being able to. They are not they're not big movies, and that's not to say that I don't want smaller movies from Marvel, but I think they've set a standard. They've put themselves. This is their own fault. They've done it to themselves. After Endgame, after Infinity War, Thor Ragnarok, these films just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's to a point that it's like I kind of only really care about them if they're event films like No Way Home or Doctor Strange 2 or Love and Thunder.
Really cool. Like honestly, Moon Knight and Shang-Chi could swap show to movie, and I'd be fine. Because Moon Knight is more of movie material to me than Shang-Chi is, or even She-Hulk.
There we go. Benson, I like how Benson told me I don't even know where the number came from, but he said Mickey Mouse had the number 28 on his car for his debut cartoon Steamboat Willie. Okay, so there you go. That's probably where I know it is.
More information. He's an op.
Right, yeah, just more confirmation is that you get the kind of like neon Mickey. There you go on the front there, but yeah, I think I always thought it was weird that this was coming out at the beginning of Phase 4 as an origin when we're so deeply established with everything else. Not to say that origin movies shouldn't be made now by Disney, but I just think the place for that is Disney Plus. So Gavin, what are your thoughts on Shang-Chi in the box office this weekend?
So here's the deal, and people can disagree because honestly, Eternals and Shang-Chi are kind of in the similar situation where they don't know. The general audience doesn't know a ton about either one of them.
There's not a lot, right?
But the reason I would say that Shang-Chi will do better is just because Shang-Chi is just. I feel like it's just more marketable than Eternals, because Eternals is like Guardians of the Galaxy. But again, Guardians of the Galaxy was just a surprise hit. Like even Marvel was like, we thought this was not going to do as good as it did. Like it was a surprise. In a pandemic, surprises are very like you don't get a lot of those. So I don't think Eternals is going to do as good as Shang-Chi will. Honestly, I think that Venom 2 will do better than both of them. And I'm not the hugest Venom fan.
I agree. That might
Venom has so much popularity, especially in like China. Dude, people in China love Venom like a lot. Like it's super weird.
And I'll be honest, I didn't
like Venom.
I didn't either. I look at that movie and I even look at like the Rotten Tomatoes on that sometimes. It's got like a high 80s audience score, and I'm like, maybe I'm just a hater on that one. But I thought it was really cool.
Like,
the only thing I liked were the action.
But
Tom Hardy was cool.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I'm just like, yeah, same.
Dude, honestly, it's a popcorn movie. What's up, Nicotina?
In the chat, as always.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a popcorn movie. It's not gonna be like that. Like Venom is a popcorn movie.
Right.
But I think Venom 2 might be better than the first one. But again, I don't expect much from Venom 2 as well.
Yeah, I really don't.
I think it'll be better.
I think it'll be better, but I don't expect
honestly, I wanted Venom 2.
Oh my god, this is Iron Man all over again.
Yeah, I wanted Venom 2 to get more serious, especially if they're going to add Carnage, and it kind of feels like they got more silly. And I'm pretty surprised with the addition of Andy Serkis that it feels that way.
They have Woody Harrelson like this serial killer who's again, Cletus Cassidy is basically the Joker version of Carnage. Venom, where he's like full on crazy. like where he would, but he's making too many weird jokes.
Yeah, and somebody was actually telling me that that's
like,
pretty comic
like it's
accurate.
subtle
That
jokes.
his like
it's subtle
Who,
jokes,
Cletus
but
is?
it's too many subtle jokes.
I don't think
No,
Cletus
Venom,
is telling.
Venom.
Honestly,
No,
Cletus.
he's talking about Venom. He's talking about.
Yeah.
Venom. Venom is telling a lot of Venom.
Yeah, that was pretty comic accurate.
Venom is very so. The way that they're portraying Venom in this Venom verse, whatever you want to call it, it's very weird because no one can say that it's not like Venom in the comics. It just feels like it's a combination of 3 different versions of Venom from the comics.
They're like
It has
the
ultimate in it. It has like the old version in it. It's kind of like a combination, but it's not like great, you know.
Yeah, because the thing about Venom is trying to be like once he's done with done with Peter Parker and Spider-Man, he's trying to be a better Spider-Man. He's trying to prove that I'm better than you by doing this. But then, and like in Spider-Man 3, they didn't do that. Like he turned into like this psycho villain when that's Carnage. Like they pulled the Carnage with Venom in Spider-Man 3. But yeah, Venom is like trying to be the better Spider-Man, but anti-hero way.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, Venom is never really evil. Like I remember the people being like, "Well, Venom in the people who hate I'll be real with you. I don't love Venom either, but the complaints of Venom are some of them are stupid. Like I'm just used to Venom being a villain. I'm like, well, he's not really a villain. Like Venom just had a personal vendetta against Peter in Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It was never. He's never going Spider-Man 3 is so bad. Like the whole part of Eddie going to the church, I want to pray and I want you to kill kill Peter Parker. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? The worst ever.
That was
Venom also looks like so skinny and weak, and I'm like, Spider-Man, just throw him off of you. He looks so freaking. It's like the worst Venom design. It's like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Actually, I wasn't too upset with the design, but definitely the character. I mean, because at the time, I think I don't think the CGI was there to get him to where he was. Because he does look pretty good in 2018 compared to.
I mean, Sandman looked pretty good.
Sandman did look pretty good, but Venom, I think you got to think too. He would have had to be bulkier in the muscles to make it look realistic.
I'm not even talking about the Venom. I'm just talking about Eddie. Eddie just doesn't. Eddie Brock is nothing choice.
Terrible choice,
dude. Yeah, nothing like the comics.
Eddie Brock. Yeah, I completely agree.
Dude, Austin could have pulled off a better Eddie Brock. Than Topher Grace.
Definitely. But let's see here. I think. Holy crap! I think that covers it. I think we got through everything. Wow, I can't believe I didn't think we were going to get through everything. I know, right around the 2-hour mark. Well, cool, guys. So, any final thoughts on all the stuff we talked about today? I know we kind of just to round it out. We talked about DC Fandom and how much we hate Warner Brothers and how terrible the marketing is for that. We did talk about the what if predictions, Shang Chi box office. Oh, I did want to mention anybody here in the chat or on the panel listen to Kanye West's new album, Donda?
Donda.
No.
Donda.
Donda. It's all the same. Tomato, potato.
Donda.
There it is. That's what a brilliant album cover for.
And then
Kanye
you have Kanye West, Jesus
ascending to the heavens. I like it. It's
after that video. I've seen that video in so many memes. I remember one of the memes was leaked image of Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's happening.
Exactly. Dude. Yeah. I'm telling you, dude. Look, he's out there, man. But I hold that he is a musical and creative genius. I think there's absolutely nobody like that guy. Marketing his music the way that they are.
Oh, right. He's not Kanye anymore. He's Ye.
Right, he's not. He's Ye now. He's Ye. Jesus.
He's Ye West.
Jesus is here. Jesus.
Me and Kanye have I feel like me and Kanye's songs have a hate and love relationship because I think he's a really good artist. But here's the deal. I've had a vendetta against him ever since the Assassin's Creed movie. I'm like, you picked this motherfucker to sing an Assassin's Creed movie. Assassin's Creed video game has some of the most beautiful music. They hire a chorus. It has some of the most beautiful, dude. It has some of the most beautiful music. That first trailer comes out, I am God, and I'm like,
dude, it did start. Remember, it didn't start with that movie. It started with the Black Flag trailer, and they had a Kanye song in there. Oh no, that was a Drake song in there, and everybody was like, "What? Why are we putting rap in?"
It wasn't. No, I don't think it was Black Flag. I think it was like shit, I don't think it was Black. Because Black Flag was
the one about the Revolutionary War. Actually, now that I think about it,
yeah, it was Unity. Unity. French. It was a French one, I think.
Yeah, and you're like, why is Drake? What's going on here? I do think he said Benson. That's funny. Yet another man crushed and screwed up by a Kardashian. Unfortunately, I think he probably had some issues before he got to the Kardashians, but they didn't. Probably didn't help. Again, I think personally he's got his own beliefs and things, but I think lyrically and musically, I think the guy is a genius. Seriously,
did he and Kim get remarried at one of his listening
I
parties?
don't know. There's nobody even really knows. They know it was her.
Honestly,
they don't know if they were getting remarried. Or...
Honestly, I don't know anything about Kanye. The whole thing. Okay, here's the deal. I'm not one of those guys who cares that much about celebrities' life, like besides their career. Like I'm not. Right. I'm not the whole keeping up with the Kardashians or like.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't talk to people who do that.
Right. I mean, look, I think I follow Kanye just because I'm so interested.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just not like I'm not as obsessed with celebrities' lives.
Right.
Like no, people are.
I think you definitely like there's a stereotype I think against him just because of stuff he said, and he's gone off on some weird rants and stuff, understandably. But I think he's definitely like on a genius level when it comes to music.
He's brilliant marketing.
And marketing.
Oh,
and
he's
marketing.
so good, dude. Yeah. He's so good. Honestly, like people, like he has the same effect as the Paul brothers. Where like honestly, I don't like the Paul brothers, and a lot of people don't. But they are genius at marketing. They were so smart. The way they made their money, by being idiots. And like you can be like, oh, I hate this and hate this and hate this. I'm like, dude, you're gonna make them even more money by doing this. They're playing you.
Dude, you're right. And he's apparently pretty mad at the label, his record label, because they released the album without his permission and it wasn't finished. And you can tell there's some moments in the album that it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't finished. So
it's not auto-tuned enough.
Right, it's not even just that. They were just
Donda.
Right. Yeah, there's like a whole song actually that like you can't understand a word that they're saying.
No.
But there are other actually when you listen to the lyrics, and it's a really, really deep album, very personal, and he talks a lot about what's been going on in his life.
Do you guys listen to all the new rap? Like I want to do this on a personal music question. Do you guys? Because I'll give my opinion first. Like new rap today, it's like there's some good stuff. And my brother sends me some stuff, but all the rap today is just like, dude, I F this many bitches and I do this with drugs and this, and it's like this thing. And I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very much over that. That's why that's another reason why I'm like, Kanye's a genius, dude. There's none of that stuff is in the album. There's not one mention of any of that. Like, he tells a story in every single song, whether it's about something he's been through or somebody he knows or about his mom. It's a story. And sure, there are bad words in there or whatever, but like, it's not all about being in the club drinking and having ass and titties in your face.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude, that's like 95% of rap songs.
There's literally the song A&T, ass and titties. Like, so yes, I do think rap has taken a significant dive as to there's just
that
nothing interesting or creative about it. This isn't the rap, or this isn't how like rap started. I think. Look, I have a lot of friends that are rappers, and I used to help out with the engineering for the music and stuff and record them and all this stuff. And I only did it with people who or helped people that was like doing different stuff because everybody in rap it feels like is doing the same thing. I mean, I like Travis, I like The Weeknd.
They're different rappers.
Austin, thanks for inviting me, but I'm glad that you know that now every single time you invite me, it's just gonna be a rant stream.
Good, dude, I love it. I love it. I love it.
We ranted about WB, we ranted about DC, we're ranting about music.
I love it. I love it too. No, honestly, I think music. Probably I listen to some weird music. If I actually put up my Spotify playlist, you guys would be like, "What the heck do you listen to?" Have you guys ever heard of Bon Iver?
Yeah,
big Bon Iver guy.
He's right.
Let's see. I'm looking at. I like Bastille. I still like Bastille.
I love
Bo Burnham's new album. I listened to on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like my music choices are all over the place.
Yeah, same, dude. My playlist, dude. I have a bunch of everything. Like I think so. My like ringtone is Metallica 1. And so every single time my phone rings, all I hear is just like the most dope music that I'll let it play.
Uh-oh. We lost Gavin.
Gavin died.
Gavin disappeared. Gavin's playing a magic trick, guys.
He's a disappearing act.
He's a disappearing act, and what he is going to be doing, hopefully, is coming back.
Oh, he's back.
Whoa, dude! Oh my gosh! What an amazing magic trick! We were just telling.
Dang, dude! I know.
You surprised the people with your magic there, the disappearing act, but we filled them in.
Dude, the StreamYard couldn't handle my Metallica.
They've been talking about
dude. They were like, stop him now.
He's talking Metallica. Shut him down. Dude, no, I agree. Yeah, I have a whole playlist that I still listen. I listen to a lot of classic rock and classic. And dude, I listen to Simon
Congratulations, Austin.
Still, like,
you have my respect.
Right? Yeah, I got the whole. My music choices are really.
So rappers' names nowadays are like the stupidest effing names I've ever heard.
What? Lil Durk?
Little Dark.
Little Dark? What? I like how you got Lil Baby and Da Baby. What? Like you got?
I'm very confused on those two. Sometimes, like in the very beginning, like
if they're on the same song, forget it.
Oh,
forget it.
It's like what?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Senior Baby, Little Baby, Da Baby, and Fall Baby. I was like, what the? What?
Is the Baby Gang?
Yeah, it's the Baby Gang. Ladies and gentlemen, Baby Boss, the leader of the Baby. What? Alec Baldwin just jumps on stage. What is going on right now?
Tony Blair's like Tony Blair.
We have Baby Yoda. Like, dude, freaking Grogu shows up.
Grow, yeah.
It's like
we got the Mando Baby, the Boss Baby, the Baby, Lil Baby, all the baby. Like, oh my god.
It's like, oh my god.
We got Ice Age Baby. No. I remember Ice Age.
We got Vanilla Ice Baby. Oh my gosh.
Ice Baby.
Dude,
Ice Baby.
Seriously, you have every little in the book is taken.
You have every baby.
I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna look this up.
How many
rapper names have baby in it?
Dude, it's honestly ruined my word. Like, I'm never gonna call my kid baby again. I'm just gonna call him child. Because that word, every single time I'm gonna talk about it, it's gonna be just like, I'm gonna be like, this is my child, not my baby. Because babies are rappers now. They changed the word of the meaning.
Here are the top 10. There's 10 of them. They're top 10 rapper names featuring baby.
Baby by baby featuring baby, baby.
Number 10, Sa Baby. Sa Baby. Number 9, Bad Baby, of course. She's bad.
Jesus Christ, dude.
What
the hell?
Oh, number 8. This one's really good. Young Baby Tate. That one's not even in this. That's like it's like what is it? Young Baby Tate. Like, is that her name? And
YBT.
Like, let's see.
Is that her real name?
I can't even pronounce this one. Baby Mother?
What?
Baby Mother. Sounds like a wacky mother with such self-assurance over dreamy trap
God.
beats. What?
What the heck?
What? Baby mother, that's like... It's like
This is
that
making me
character from
rethink life. We need to stop this.
From Horrible Bosses.
Okay, I
what's that
think
dude?
we're done with the babies.
Oh,
and
no. I haven't even got... No. Baby Keem. You forgot him. He's a Keem and he's a baby. Bally Baby. Lil Baby. There he is finally. Sada Baby, which is the same thing as Sub Baby, but with a duh in there. Duh Baby. Well, that's just upsetting. The first one was Birdman. There's no baby in that. It just says Birdman. Real name Brian Baby Williams.
His middle name is Baby. No.
That's why I know, but it's not in the rap name. So just
Oh my God.
I guess, but dude, yeah. I mean, if
Congratulations, rappers! You ruined that word for me.
Right, congratulations. You guys are definitely up there in the creative minds of the universe. But with
I think
that,
they should create titles for every movie. All the people that have the baby in their rap name, and they'll be like the new Avengers baby.
They should all
Shang
change
Chi
their
and the Legend of the Ten Babies.
But as we do start to come to a close here, definitely want to thank everybody in the chat for stopping by. We thank you guys so much. You guys mean the world to us, and it means a lot that you are here, that you engage. We got a lot of stuff coming up this week. Wednesday, we will have some sort of panel, I'm sure, happening as we usually do, or an interview or something, but make sure and look out tomorrow. Thursday, we're back with Jivin with Jack. I will be also filling in for Jack that day as well, as he's out on some work things with the mob, obviously, as we said earlier. But and then also
we can't get him back. We can't get Jack back.
Right. We can't get him back. Help us get him back.
Jack, come back. Nope. Mafia got him. The mob. Literally
Yep. And then next week, guys, we got premiering Lean on Me. Super, super excited about that starting next Monday night. Labor Day, as Ill Life said, it's going to be a Labor Day party, and I cannot wait. We've got a lot of surprises, dude. Guys, I have seriously been working tirelessly at making this show the best that it possibly can be. It's going to be unlike any other show on the channel. We are the Pop Culture Corner, and of course, we do have shows dedicated to great themes like the MCU and DC and Star Wars and all that great stuff. But also, this show will get to focus on some other things going on in the world, like mental health, pop culture, and society, and different other cultures. And so I'm definitely excited to explore those things. Paul from Into the West will be my co-host. And like I said, that first episode is going to feature a lot of guest appearances, including Donovan from Into the West, including Ill Life, including Phil from Unfiltered, Phil Barker. So a lot of special guests and surprises and things happening that night. We're going to have an opening set from a DJ. Definitely let everybody know that that's the place you want to be Monday nights at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And with that, make sure and tune in the rest of this week. Turn on your notification bells for this channel. Follow us on social media over at Twitter, on Instagram, and wherever else that you kids tweet and post nowadays. Thank you guys again so much for joining us this episode. We will be back Thursday with a new episode of Jivin' with Jack. We can't thank you enough. And remember, we do it for you, and we do it for the culture. See you next time.